Why do we keep loving all this that is going to pass so quickly, die too soon, and disappoint all over again? I ask myself that question often, at every funeral, at every graduation around here, with every hurt I suffer, with every goodbye. Why? Why do we keep loving all this when it will all pass and die and disappoint? I imagine Jesus in the story of the ascension, of his ascension into eternity from his time, his limited time with these folks who changed his life while he was with them. I imagine Jesus saying, I didn't know it would hurt this much to have to leave you. We tend to think of the ascension from the perspective of the disciples getting their marching orders to do what is theirs to do for the rest of their lives. But I imagine they also had to come to terms with the fact that they would not see him again on this earth as they knew him to be, or he, them. But if I ask that question for myself, when I'm the one grieving, when I'm the one hurting, when I'm the one saying goodbye, don't I also have to take myself out of the center of this picture and stand over there looking at me and ask, why would anybody keep loving me when I keep hurting them, when I keep disappointing them, when they're saying goodbye to me because of some choice I made to move or to stay or to change schools or to retire? No, I'm not retiring yet. But soon. Why would they hang in with me when I get sick or when they run up against my limitations or even when it's my turn to die? Why would they keep loving me? The campus ministers from here, Sean and Troy and Jen and myself, we were at a conference this past week in San Antonio, where we were together with many of our colleagues from all over the country. And while we were there, maybe just a little more than an hour drive from us, at that same time, just an hour drive away or so, that same time, the carnage that many moms and dads woke up to, the carnage of their own fourth grade daughters and sons. 19 of them, all because of an 18-year-old, the same age as our freshman. Those moms and dads are asking the same question in the midst of excruciating pain that most of us can't even begin to imagine, that most of us can't even allow ourselves to imagine, because if it even starts, it's something we want to jump back from as quickly as possible. We don't want to go there, so there's nothing in us that wants to go there and think about it. We shudder at the violence. We shudder at the vulnerability of those little kids, but of their mom and dad too, of all of us, really. The vulnerability of our altogether human lives. Why love? Why give our whole self to something, to someone who will die? Why care at all? Why give a damn over it all? Is it worth it? Is it worth it if this is where it all ends? What I'm about to say, I could not say to any of those parents in the midst of this unspeakable grief. It is way too easy for me to say what I'm about to say from the distance of not just an hour away today, but 13 hours away, and in the safety and the comfort of this good company, of belonging. And yet I hope that what I'm about to say is the truth. And it's a truth I dare say, even those parents know deep down at the bottom of their tears. I call it the pain of being human. The cost, maybe, of being human. The price we pay to love another human being. The price we pay to love another human being for those of us who are poor enough to pay it. And it is worth it. It is worth it because being human together is all we got. Fallible and people loving fallible people. Humans loving humans. The finite loving the finite. The limited loving the limited. It's everything it means to be human. It's everything there is. Really? And I hope you can say that it's been worth it for you because you've buried your dead. There are parents out here who have buried their children, some of them murdered this morning here. And it was worth it because of what we saw shining, glimmering along the way in the limited time given us. Why do we keep choosing to love when everything we've ever loved or ever will love will pass? And why are you loving me when I will disappoint you and leave you and die? When I gather with couples who are preparing for marriage, I say to them, you know, every marriage ends. Either divorce or death. Every marriage ends. And you still want to get married? Why? Personally, I am so glad that I dared myself to love someone's, even with the passing of everything and even with disappointments. Because it's only when I am in love, it's the only time in my whole life when I am in love that I've ever found it easy to believe in heaven. And yet, when those parents will be asked if it was worth it to have born those 19 children into the world, when they will be asked if those 10-year-old lives were worth living and worth their loving, when they will ask, would you do it again? Would you do it again if you knew how it was going to end? Even how soon? I propose to you, my friends, I propose to you that when they can find their voice again, when they can string together more than just 5 words without breaking down in tears and sobbing, and not even be able to finish a sentence, they will say, yes, it was. Every minute of every hour of every day we had together was worth it. That we were together on this earth for this time. And it was worth it. Yes, I was a mortal who gave birth to mortals. And even for 10 years, it was so worth it. It's the price I would gladly pay again and again, if I could, to have loved my child, to have held her hand, to have seen him look up at me and smile when I woke him in the morning. Oh my God. It was so worth it.